guys, it's Chantel with Find Your Beautiful You. I wanted to come to you today on this wonderful morning and talk to you about overwhelm. Are you so excited? So I know we all experience overwhelm. I do. I still to this day experience a lot of overwhelm. But I will say I have gotten a better grasp on it, and I have learned some awesome tools that I want to share with you that will hopefully help you understand overwhelm a little bit better and give you a different perspective on it. So what causes our overwhelm? Well, we can list off a whole bunch of things. It could be our kids' activities. It could be just relationships that we have in our life. It could be school. It could be work. Maybe it's your goals for your health and fitness. Maybe it's just your goals for your marriage. Maybe you have all these things that you want to do. Maybe it's your spiritual goals. Maybe you're trying to get a better grasp on different things on your to-do list. Okay, so those are just some ideas of what could be causing you overwhelm. And we have these thoughts of like, I will never get it all done. I have too much to do. Okay, and we're thinking again about all those different things that I just listed off. Well, I want to offer to you that it is not that list. It is not your kids' activities. It is not your ever long to-do list of things that you need to get done. It is simply, and I do say simply, but understand it could be a lot harder than it is. It is your thought that I don't have enough time. It is your thought of I am so overwhelmed that is causing your overwhelm. Okay, so I get overwhelmed, just like I said, especially when I'm starting to do this new business. I have those moments where I will indulge in overwhelm, and then I will quickly pull myself out of it, because as I've come to learn, overwhelm is not helping me at all to get anything else accomplished. Okay, so if you think about it, we all have 24 hours in the day to get things completed. Like you can think about, the President of the United States. You could think about a superstar. You could think about maybe your best friend who just seems to have everything all together all the time. Okay, now is it that they were born with a more efficiency talent? No, it has nothing to do with that. They probably do have better thoughts. Okay, that's probably all it is. They are a little bit more efficient with their thoughts. And let me just tell you, you can get there too. You can be as efficient as all of these other people that you are thinking about, okay? So what you need to realize is the overwhelm is simply coming from your thoughts. And that overwhelm, saying I don't have enough time, there's so much to do, I'll never get it all completed, will create those anxious feelings, okay? And we've talked about anxiety before, but just a quick refresher. Anxiety is just a vibration in your body. And anxiety tends to make us have fear, and it's trying to protect us from danger, because that's just what anxiety does. Now, when you're thinking about being anxious about getting your kids to their activities, there's no danger there. It's simply just a thought. But we still have the same reactions, okay? So when we have that anxiety, we can sometimes be running around with our head like a chicken with her head cut off, screaming and yelling at our kids that we gotta get going, we gotta do this thing, get your stuff together, we're never gonna get there on time. Okay, so there's one way to respond to your anxiety and your overwhelm. Or there's the other way of just the complete shutdown. We are paralyzed by all the things that we have to get done. Now, both sides of that aren't serving you. They're not getting you to complete anything on your to-do list. They're not getting you to get through your day in a more efficient way. So you need to get down to what is your thought when you're being overwhelmed, okay? Most of the time when I've talked to my clients, they're like, well, I don't know how. I don't know how to get it all done. Okay, if you think about that thought just simply, then of course you're not going to get it all done, because that is a thought that's going to stop you in your tracks. Okay. So really consider what it is that you are thinking. What is that primary thought that keeps coming up for you? And it might take some digging because we haven't been aware of it in the past, but what is that primary thought that keeps coming up for you when you are feeling that overwhelm? Okay, and it could be that I don't know how to do this. It could be I don't have the time to do all of this. So if you sit and think about those thoughts, you're going to understand that of course then you're not going to get it all finished. Our brains are so efficient, it's going to find the evidence that you don't have enough time. And the way that it does it is we just avoid. Okay? So instead of getting something taken care of, instead of making a plan, instead of laying out in our calendar how we can get it all taken care of, we'll just sit there and be paralyzed in our fear and our anxiety, and we will avoid getting anything completed. Okay, so when we are in that overwhelmed state, when we are in that anxious state, we are not thinking logically. We are, of course, getting into that freak out mode of course, there's no way that I'm going to get this all completed, okay? So we need to give our brains a new and better thought, something that it can go towards that will relieve that pressure, relieve that overwhelm in that moment. Okay, and sometimes it's so hard to think of like a rosy, beautiful, perfect thought for the future. So even just getting to the point of saying, when I calm down, I will figure out a plan. Okay, or all I need to do is make a plan. Okay, so those are just some simple thoughts that will help you realize this is not that big of a deal. This is just coming from a thought in my brain, and I will figure out what I need to do. Okay, so when you do figure out that new thought, make sure that it is a little bit believable. Now, going from saying, I don't have enough time to, I have all the time in the world, may be completely unbelievable in that moment. So we need to find something that you can jump to and it will be realistic. So saying something like, I just need to make a plan, which is one that I tend to come up with for myself when I'm feeling overwhelmed, really does help out in that situation. It's not that I'm saying I have all the answers. It's not that I'm saying I have enough time. It's just saying I just need to make a plan. And that little thought alone will help alleviate some of the overwhelm that I'm feeling. Okay? So again, let's review. When you are feeling that overwhelm, step number 1, the best thing that you can do is just figure out what it is that you are thinking. What is that thought that's causing you that overwhelm to begin with? Okay, and number 2, you need to come up with a believable thought. Okay, something that will help you in that moment. So as you go into this next week, it's Monday. What a perfect day to try and start doing this. I want you to start looking at your day, and when you have those moments of overwhelm come up, be compassionate with yourself and just start to become more aware of the thoughts that you are having and just understand that that's all it's coming from. And I promise you, as you become more aware of those thoughts, your life will change. I promise you. Now, if you would like some extra help with your overwhelm and you feel like it's too overwhelming to get your grasp on this, I would love to help you out with that. We can sign up for a quick 30-minute mini session and we can try and give you some awareness as to what's going on. I'm also going to be signing up for my program here pretty soon, so if you're interested in some more details on that, you can also email me at Chantel@findyourbeautifulyou.com. Have an amazing week, and we will talk very soon.